Hey, are you an aspiring architecture student? Do you enjoy thinking creatively and develop new ideas?
Yes, as we tackle the overall function and creativity of the sign and its implemented contrast.
Located at the Rosario Crescent, Lim Kitkay Drive, Cagayan de Oro City.
Buksan ng nabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso, lumalaban, bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap.
The first notable characteristics of the structure applied are the contrast of lines and tones. One properties of contrast of lines are its blend of horizontal and vertical nature of its shape and form that helps distinguishes the overall building form and personality being of an elongated vertical shape of a rectangle, arousing a presence of calm, peace, and stability to its occupants and viewers.
The Loop Tower has a tone secured by contrast of texture, opening, or plane. The building has a unique combination of color that must clearly distinguish the Loop Tower from its environment. It also accentuated by wall paint's articulation, pattern repetition, and organized rhythm of arc of its balconies and windows that highlighting the contrast of tone.
Some embedded elements of contrast of size are presented by the organized hierarchy of the unit's proportion. The combined elements of contrast of tones and size are dynamic illusion elements of grid elements of the structure and the silhouette of its units.
The indicated elements of scale were emphasized by the structure applied articulation of its exterior surface by the chosen hues and tones, predominantly the blend of blue and white, highlighting the building overall absolute proportions of the building volume, which also helps distinguish the relative proportions of the building units and their relative parts. The accentuated applications of articulation of color elements creates a dynamic of unity in its scale.
The characteristic balance of the building are indicated by the implemented exterior shape due to its visible stability. The deliberate application of contrast balance out the overall static and lifeless quality of the design.
The loop hierarchy, characterized by its visual properties, tonal properties, and hierarchical patterns, creates a phenomenal illusion of length, weight, depth, and variation in units and walls.
The addition of visual chaos balances the static exterior facade of the structure, while asymmetrical visual properties and create a dynamic sense of balance in the lifeless patterns of the condominium units. The Loop Tower has an additive transformation in its front and rear view of the building, which give an emphasis of the structure. While the vertical shape on the front and rear elevation emphasize a strong presence of strength of the structure.
Repetition are emphasized by the overall structure, ventilated proportion into prominent accentuated elements of the balconies and windows, and the uniform placement of the room units in organized and patterned in systematic hierarchy, creating a sense of order and unity presented by the hierarchical elements of this mentioned shades are recurring evidence of repetition in the overall exterior of the loop.
The highlighted overall recurring principle of rhythm are the recurring interval elements of empty displays, voids properties of balcony arches and windows, which energizes cycle of rhythm, a accentuated movement and energy of the building, prominent elements of negative spaces.
The loop's exterior is distinguished by its hue composition, highlighting its proportion and scales. Visual contrast and dynamic contrast balance the overall unity of the structure, balancing the static behavior of lifeless unity.
The characteristic of the design aims to create a visually pleasing and a harmonious structure that also serves its purpose as a residential building. The overall design concept is oriented towards creating a sense of luxury and sophistication for its residents, defining the overall influence and functional purpose of the building personality.
The materials employed in the exterior design of the Loop Tower include high-quality glass, steel, and concrete. These materials are chosen for the durability, structural endurance, and ability to withstand environmental factors. The extensive use of glass allows for ample natural light to enter the residence.
Overall, we hope this video would help you understand the importance of elements of contrast and principles of composition that defines and creates a good architecture. And we hope This video helps fellow aspiring architecture students, inspires, and you create a good designs in architecture.
Mimithi, inaasam, pangarap na walang hanggan. Bawat ngiti, nagniningil